Welcome to News 6 Extra. I'm Christopher Heath. It is Friday, September the 5th. We made it. We're at the end of the week. Congratulations, everybody. Pop the champagne. Not you, Penny. You still have to work a couple more hours, but we'll get there soon. Very soon.
Oh, that was cute.
Yeah.
We said that at the same time.
Oh. Yes, it's Jimmy Buffett and who is it? It's Alan Jackson, I think, saying it's 5:00 somewhere. Anyway, it's 12:30 somewhere. That somewhere is here at WKMG News 6, where David Nazario is joining us to go over the weather, and Invest is being investigated. Everybody's getting their spaghetti plots together, planning for our horrific demise at the hands of this murder storm. Correct, or am I overselling it?
You might be overselling it, to tell you the truth. Now, the folks on social media don't want you to know that, but, in the last 12 to 24 hours, and I apologize if it sounds like I stumble over my words, I'm still not at 100%. While y'all are popping bottles and champagne, I'm just going to be popping cough syrup and other kinds of cold and allergy pills. But let's get you over to the tropical outlook as of right now. This is likely going to change. This is Invest 91L, given a 60% shot at developing over the next 2 days, 90% shot over the next 7 days. And to tell you the truth, models have pulled a complete 180 on us. I think what happened with this little feature down there, it once was the little wave that could. Ever since it kind of peeled away from that band there that you can see on the satellite image, that tropical convergence zone in the deep tropical Atlantic, once it moved away from that, it put itself in some of the more hostile Atlantic conditions. Because when I take you full screen again, notice there's really a significant lack of cloud cover to the north and pretty much in every other direction. That's just because we're not quite into that favorable phase just yet to where we really realize what the peak of the hurricane season might do for us. I do still think that's coming. Here's a quick glance, though, at our spaghetti plots. You can see the infamous spaghetti plots kind of spreading out all over the place. It is generally expected to continue to track generally towards the west. However, right now, it seems like computer models have really fallen out of love as to whether or not this thing will actually get going. But that's neither here nor there. Even as Invest 91 slops out, as I like to say, we still have two other hotspots that have been highlighted by Climate Prediction Center. And historically speaking, this is where we want to watch through the rest of the duration of the hurricane season. We've gotten through the halftime show, and now we're getting into the second half. And you can see not only close to home, but the deep tropical Atlantic is likely to produce, or it's not over until it's over. Now, switching gears, taking you back close to home, we still have a leftover stationary boundary that's kind of dissolving over the southern half of the peninsula. That's going to continue to weaken, but it will keep our rain chances fairly high. When you switch over to our actual zoomed in radar, if you notice, through Orange, Osceola, and especially Brevard, we've got a little bit of action already starting to pepper us with some showers and some maybe an occasional pop thunder of lightning out there in eastern Orange and Osceola, and that's going to slowly but surely continue to expand throughout the day today. We'll see that coverage kind of go up, especially for our Four Corners counties and along the southeast coast of our viewing area, looking at the southern half of Brevard. Here are your temperatures outside right now. You can see we're still on the tame side, even though there's a little more sunshine out there. We aren't all creeping into the 90-degree threshold just yet, which is good news. And we should actually stay predominantly right around average, if not below average, throughout the day today. You can see at about 2 o'clock, we'll finally hit the warmest portions of the afternoon, coming in around generally 89 degrees, whereas the calendar average hovers right at around 91. And thankfully, on top of our high temperatures kind of bottoming out where they are, you can see the heat index, albeit we're starting to creep back into those triple-digit amounts. They're not as significant as they once were for much of June, July, and especially August, now that August is in the rearview mirror. So for the day today, less in terms of our overall rain chances. You can see during the warmest parts of the afternoon, sitting around 40%, and then we really quickly taper down just because we're kind of in between systems. As that stationary front dissolves to our south, we're not going to quite see as much of a nudge in the moisture in the lift department to get those thunderstorms rocking for many of us in Central Florida. And then through the day tomorrow, it will be a touch cooler as the rain chances try to creep back up Still spotty and isolated in overall coverage, though. So we'll be watching that very closely, see exactly what pans out for us tomorrow. As we rapid fire through the clouds and rain, you can see this is pretty much the key takeaway here, folks. A lot of our southern counties, especially the Four Corners counties, are where we're going to see much of the thunderstorms. And since we're seeing that frontal boundary, what's stuck down over South Florida, kind of wash out, you can see by 8 o'clock, we won't have too much in the way of hefty rain showers or storms to battle with as we wrap up our Friday night. So, with that being said, we'll go ahead and start getting ready to close out. Not a whole lot to discuss. We'll continue to monitor the tropics, looking at 91L, see what's coming down the pike as we get towards the midsections of September. And then I'll leave you with our 7-day forecast. You can see the rain chances will start to balloon back up as we go into early next week. Temperatures will drop as a response to that, as our next frontal system kind of slowly works its way in, preparing us for the full bona fide fall season coming up over the next 2.5 weeks.
I know a lot of football fans looking at that forecast kind of, eyeballing tonight. They've got high school football, and of course, they have college games on Saturday. So, it's kind of trying to see, okay, we're going to dodge it, because I know last week I was at the UCF home opener, and we got about quarter and a half into the game, and it just opened up on us. And so, everybody trying to keep an eye on that for tonight and for tomorrow. So, thank you, David. We'll obviously keep an eye on the tropics as well. Okay. So, back here at home, Central Florida Congressman Corey Mills was in a courtroom this morning, a civil hearing for a injunction. What is going on? This is all playing out in Columbia County. We have a reporter, Stephanie Rodriguez, in the courtroom today. But there's Corey Mills. He is the congressman who represents the 7th congressional district, that is Seminole County and parts of Volusia County. And he is accused by his ex-girlfriend, there she is there, of threatening to release nude pictures, nude videos of her after they broke up. He has adamantly denied all of these allegations, but she's seeking a restraining order against the congressman. This hearing was supposed to be virtual a couple of weeks ago, but it got sidetracked and got moved to in person. So today, both parties were in court for this hearing.
If somebody's watching me, I didn't want them to think that I'm on a date and them start following my little brother. I switched up my schedule. Anywhere that I knew that Corey knew that I frequented. I used to go to Mexican night with my girlfriends on Thursday night. I stopped going to that. I used to walk around the lake in the afternoons. I stopped doing that because I knew he knew that that's where I would be. And so I was just really scared.
Of course, this hearing went over the time that it was supposed to, and the judge asked both parties to set aside some time in the next couple of days or weeks to come back to Columbia County to try and finish up the hearing. And ultimately, the judge will have to rule on whether or not the restraining order will be put in place. This is a civil matter between the two parties, and of course, what she is hoping for there is a order to keep Mills away from her and also to prevent any of these pictures from being released. Mills says he doesn't have them. He told the court that today. So we'll have a full report. Stephanie Rodriguez will have a full report from Columbia County coming up today on News 6 at 4 o'clock. Well, later today, football fans and friends and family will come together to give support to Ethan Pritchard. Ethan Pritchard is the former he's a current Florida State football player, but used to play football in Seminole County. His former classmates and some of his friends will come together at the game this evening to remember the time he was there, the friendship they had, and really pull for him. He was shot last week up in the Panhandle while visiting friends. He's in the hospital in critical condition, but tonight friends and family will all come together to raise some support and try and, help him recover. Angie Casada has this story.
Yeah, they plan to not only honor Pritchard at tonight's game, but they're also selling T-shirts for Pritchard's family for those medical bills. It's a story that has reached far more than just this area. It was Sunday night when Florida State linebacker Ethan Pritchard was critically injured in Havana, Florida, after his vehicle was fired on. The violence leaving his fellow players and coach in shock.
I got a chance to be there, last night with him and his dad and family, and grateful, for all the support and medical, support that he was able to receive. Our football team, coaches, family, we're all here to support them.
And that support is set to continue tonight at Seminole High School, where Pritchard used to play. The team will sell Boki's Strong T-shirts with proceeds going directly to his family. The tribute will take place during their game against Lyman.
3 weeks row, right here, on this street.
Meantime, the Gadsden County Sheriff's Office shared video from a prayer walk. They say this weekend shooting was one of 3 in the same area. His family believes Pritchard's car was mistaken for someone else's while he was driving his aunt home. The family is now raising money to help cover medical expenses. Already, they've raised over $100,000. If you want to help, we put a link to that fundraising page inside the story on clickorlando.com. Meantime, kickoff for tonight's game is at 7 o'clock against Lyman. The school is asking everyone to wear black and red to let Ethan know and his family that they're not alone. Reporting in Sanford, I'm Angie Casada, News 6.
And we will have a reporter at the game tonight to bring you complete coverage of the vigil as everyone pulls for Ethan Pritchard to make a full recovery. Okay, this is one of those things. It started off with crosswalks. You have both the state and the federal government saying, we want to change all the crosswalks. We want to go back to just black and white, get rid of anything that's not conforming to a very strict standard. And so one by one, we have seen crosswalks across the state, here in Central Florida, but across the state, painted over. Some had designs representing, the one outside of Pulse, obviously the 49 lives lost in that massacre, but some outside of schools with uplifting messages, some outside of schools put in place by the PTA or by the former student council, all of a sudden painted over, gone, just gone. The one outside of the Daytona International Speedway with the checkered marks, gone. America's Great Race, that's just gone. But that's not where this stops. This is what Mark Lehman reports on here. We're finding out now that it's gone beyond just crosswalks. There are these drainage culverts that are out there. And in some places, people took to painting the tops of these with, different pictures, maybe swans or something that represented their neighborhood. And now FDOT has decided those have to go too. So as Mark Lehman reports, some city council members are raising questions about why this is happening and is this really the best use of our resources?
The city has been painting these drains since 2016 when it launched a campaign to try to encourage people to not throw things like trash or lawn clippings down the drain. But as you can see right now, that messaging has been whitewashed, and that's further fanning the flames in an ongoing battle with the state.
They are words I cannot repeat on air. I was very upset.
Orlando Commissioner Patty Sheehan is calling it a case of government overreach after learning the state covered several storm drains with white paint on Wednesday, which also caught the eye of residents.
It's kind of just like you just wasted somebody's time that already painted over it.
The city receiving a notification FDOT would paint over the storm drain artwork near 4 intersections east of downtown Orlando. The move coming a couple weeks after crews began removing painted designs from roadways after new federal and state guidelines.
The problem that I have with this is not only did they do away with all our beautifications and crosswalks that we got their approval for, now they've gone after these storm drains.
Sheehan says these drains were part of a years-long beautification and awareness program.
It was a promotion that we did, only rain down the drain. It was something that we did with Public Works.
At this point, the state hasn't said why the storm drains were painted, leaving city leaders angry and with a lot of questions.
There is no reason FDOT should have vandalized this property that the Thornton Park Main Street paid to have artists beautify.
FDOT has not responded to our questions as to the reasoning of all of this. Sheehan, meanwhile, says with the drains, at least the ones on city property, they're not backing down and there are plans to repaint them starting this weekend. In Orlando, Mark Lehman, News 6.
I mean, again, we have things to do in this state. Is painting over culverts the top priority? I mean, really. We have an election coming up in November. If you don't like this, voice your opinion at the ballot box. But it just seems to me that there are better things that work crews could be doing than painting over these. But hey, what do I know? All righty. We're about to take a break. But when we come back, baby services in Leesburg going away. And a really good story about a vet who's had something happen to his house. But, well, I'll let Alex explain on the other side of this break. We'll see you on the other side of this.
I'm meteorologist Michelle Morgan here with your 6 fun things to do this weekend. It'll be hot with a chance of scattered showers and storms, but a great weekend for outdoor fun. First up, the Taste of Africa Food and Music Festival this Saturday, celebrating African culture, food, music, and art. I spoke with the organizer, King Agba, about what you can expect.
Come have fun, just come to understand the culture from Africa. The main purpose of this event is for them to come in to understand what we have in Africa, to taste a little bit of Africa in Orlando. We're going to have a lot of artists performing as well.
It starts at noon at Eagle Nest Park. A great community event happening this Saturday. The Joy Showers will provide free baby essentials and support to local moms in need. It's at the Women's Club in Sanford from noon to 3 p.m. Looking to escape the heat? Check out the Popka Orlando Bird Show this Sunday with exotic birds, toys, cages, and more. It's from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Winter Parktoberfest is happening this Saturday at 4 p.m. Enjoy German food, music, dancing, and more. Stay hydrated though. General admission is $25 in advance, $30 at the gate. And don't miss Moon Over Avalon this Saturday. Enjoy Asian cultural performances, 30-plus vendors, a lantern workshop, and a parade at Avalon Park Founders Square from 4 to 9 p.m. Bring an umbrella. Join the Tunnel to Towers 5K run and walk this Saturday from 7:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. at Cranes Roost Park. The event honors those who lost their lives on 9/11 and supports first responders and military members. Have a fun event coming up? Send it my way. Many of our events come from viewers like you. Just head over to our new 6 app or clickorlando.com. Just click contact us.
Penny,
Chris.
what is your plan for the weekend? Are you going to do one of those 6 things?
No, I am going to Boston. I have a flight
Oh.
first thing tomorrow morning, so I'll be out of town. And also, I'm gone all
Michelle
next
did
week.
not mention going to Boston.
No. I should have talked to her about that. Do you have any? Fun
Yeah, that
plans?
could have been the
Are you
7th thing to do.
Are you doing any of those 6 things this weekend?
You know, no, I'm not scheduled to. The 5K looks fun, but I didn't register for that in advance. And then on the opposite end of it, the Winter Parktoberfest. I mean, that could be a good time. You know,
Sounds like it could be fun.
my wife was born in Germany. She's born on an army base in Germany, not like Germany, but she may be interested in going. Get some schnitzel, big pretzel.
Enjoy her not quite Germany heritage.
Yes. So what are you doing in Boston? Gonna go get a bean pot, maybe fight a lobster,
I do hope
pronounce
to fight
words not using an R.
I do hope to fight a lobster. I think that would be really fun. But I am going for a concert. I'm going to see My Chemical Romance at Fenway Park.
They're still together?
They broke up for like a decade and then got back together. It's a really big deal to me, but I'm not going to talk a lot about it for the sake of our viewers.
I'm just wondering how teen angst, emo music plays when you're now in your like late 30s. Like, do they still get up there and like, do the whole like my dad never loved me?
I hope so.
No.
It still hits for me. It means more to me now than it did then, actually. So
now that you're a little older, you really feel that teen angst.
I am so angsty all the time. You work with me, you should know that.
You are, yes, you are angsty as all. Speaking of people who are anxious, there's a great transition. So hospital in Leesburg just informed its patients that it's going to be transitioning out of delivering babies. In other words, some of its OBGYN services are going to go to other places. This is a problem for expectant mothers there who had planned on giving birth at the hospital are now scrambling to try and figure out their birth plan in the final few weeks and months of their pregnancy. Jerome Baker spoke with a couple moms about what they're planning to do now that the hospital is winding down its birthing.
I didn't have more than 4 minutes.
Alexis Strong says UF Health Leesburg Hospital saved her life in 2019 when an artery ruptured after giving birth to her daughter.
They didn't have time for an ambulance to take me directly across the street. So I rode in my doctor's car across the street to have an emergency procedure performed to save my life.
The hospital released this notice Wednesday about closing their labor and delivery unit in just 45 days. Strong's due date for her 3rd child is in 55 days.
The closest place to me is 40 minutes away from my house. I could go into labor prematurely. I'd have to drive further. It puts me at risk, my baby at risk.
Her sister-in-law, Michaela Deweech, who's also expecting, says that it'll be up to an hour drive for her in an area where OBGYN care is already a struggle.
I'm due a little bit later than her, but still finding an OBGYN is very difficult. So finding a new one that might be closer to a hospital just seems like an impossible task.
According to a statement to News 6 from hospital staff, with significantly fewer deliveries compared with other regional centers and a community increasingly composed of older adults, maintaining full labor and delivery services is no longer sustainable. The hospital adds there's a growing population of women over 55 who need other things like cardiovascular care, orthopedics, and stroke care instead of a maternity ward. But the mothers believe it's another way to push young families out of the community.
It's kind of like kicking us out. And we've been here before all the retirees made it here.
It doesn't mean that we don't matter and that our care is not just as important.
The hospital says they'll continue to provide emergency OBGYN services. The change will begin October 15th. In Leesburg, Jarrell Baker, News 6.
All right, and Alex Cook wraps us up today, and Alex does some great reporting for us, and this story came across. It's a 92-year-old Korean War vet. His home was destroyed. A car ran into his home, and now nonprofits and others are coming together to try and help out this vet. Alex Cook has the story.
I'm in Ocklawaha in Marion County, where a 92-year-old Korean War veteran is without a home after a car crashed into his trailer. Now, the nonprofit Villagers for Veterans is doing what they can to raise funds to put a new roof over his head.
Otis Fender was watching TV in his living room when the walls around him shook.
It sounded like a bomb. It hit my trailer.
A car had veered off the dirt road where he lives in rural Marion County.
The driver broke down that little fence. You can see the top of it still on the ground. She came right through here, missed the tree, hit the gate shut, and turned around and hit it right here.
Fender was okay, but his home was condemned.
I really need all the help that I can get. I'm in a position between a rock and a hard place. My home is destroyed, and it takes $20,000 to fix it. I don't have it.
What Fender does have is membership to a brotherhood he joined in 1954 when he enlisted in the U.S. Air Force and earned the title of veteran.
Veterans help veterans. And so whenever there is a veteran that's in need, the other veterans, and no matter what branch or no matter how long they serve, they rally, they come together, and they do whatever they can to make it right.
Villagers for Veterans, a nonprofit based in the villages, is raising money for a new trailer.
We have a fund, Korean War Veteran Fund, and that's for Otis. So any money that you donate will go strictly to getting him back into his home.
In the meantime, the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association is helping move his belongings into storage.
Veterans help each other out, right?
They do. They help each other out. They're like your own brother. Sometimes your brother won't help you as much as a veteran.
In Ocklawaha, Alex Cook, News 6.
One of the things Alex doesn't mention there, and I will mention for him, Alex is also a veteran, so I know that reporting on that means a lot to him. Okay, well, Penny.
Yes.
When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city.
Okay.
You know what he took me to the city to see?
Was it a marching band?
It was a marching band. And he might have said something.
We don't need to do this. We can end the show.
We don't need to do this. We will.
I can
I always find
show
that
right now.
Oh, I forgot you've got that power. Yeah. I always just feel like that's a weird way to start a song. Like you're at a parade with your dad, and then all of a sudden he just like looks at you, and he's like, "Are you going to be the savior, the broken, the beaten, and the damned?" And it's like, Dad, seriously, we're here for a parade. What's going on with this? You okay? You and Mom fine? Is this?
It's storytelling.
Is this why Mom's making you sleep on the couch, Dad? Come on, what's going on?
Overarching to the larger themes of the album, death and loss, cancer. It's a really big part of it.
I know. I know.
Do you?
I do.
Study
I'm not
up,
as
bud.
shallow as you think. Probably am.
Yeah, I think you are.
Okay, have a fantastic time in Boston. Go
you.
check out a Red Sox game while you're up there.
Maybe.
I hope you get to fight a lobster.
Me
I
too.
hope you win.
I might
and
not.
enjoy My Chemical Romance.
Thank you.
Tell them I said hi.
I'll let them know. I hope you have a great weekend as well.
If they want to be on the show, that's great. Can
That
you
would-
book them for that?
Imagine.
We don't do musical guests. We definitely could, though.
We could. Also,
There's nothing stopping us.
I'll have my people talk to their people. It'll work out.
You have people? God, I don't even have people. I need to get people.
Get them.
All right, have your people reach out to my non-existent people, and we'll get this squared away. Hey, have a fantastic weekend. We'll be back here on Monday. I think Kath Lee returns, so that'll be good. Penny will be off on vacation. But we'll be back here at 12:30 on Monday to do this all over again. Of course, we break news all the time on clickorlando.com, and then we'll be on the air today starting at 4 o'clock for News 6. But otherwise, have a terrific weekend, and I'll see you back here at 12:30 on Monday. See you then. Thanks for watching.
We'll be right back.